It comes from the sky, fast, silent, and almost invisible until it is too late. When it reaches its target, there is no second chance. This is not a meteor from outer space. This is Meteor, Europe's most feared beyond visual range air-to-air missile. And now, with Sweden moving deeper into Ukraine's defense future, this weapon may soon become one of Russia's biggest nightmares. Welcome to Channel SkyJet Wings. Today, we are looking at the latest development that could reshape the air war over Ukraine: Sweden's Gripen fighter jets, Meteor missiles, and a military partnership that may push Russian aircraft farther away from the battlefield than ever before. For years, Russia has used one deadly tactic again and again. Its fighter bombers stay far behind the front line, release guided glide bombs, and avoid many of Ukraine's existing air defense threats. These bombs are heavy, destructive, and extremely difficult to stop once released. They do not need to fly like missiles. They glide, they fall, and when they hit, entire buildings, bunkers, and defensive positions can disappear. This is where Meteor enters the story. Meteor is not just another missile. It is a long-range air-to-air weapon designed to hunt enemy aircraft before they even see the aircraft that fired it. It flies at over Mach 4, has an operational range of more than 100 kilometers, and unlike older missiles that burn fast and lose energy near the end of flight, Meteor uses a throttleable ramjet engine. That means it can keep pushing, keep accelerating, and keep threatening the target deep into the engagement.
In simple words, Russian pilots may no longer feel safe just because they are standing off behind the front line. And that is the real fear. Not just that Meteor can hit aircraft, but that it can change pilot behavior. A Russian Su-34 launching glide bombs today can operate from a distance it believes is safe. But if Ukrainian Gripens armed with Meteor enter the sky, that safe distance changes. Russian pilots may be forced to release bombs from farther back, and when glide bombs are released from farther away, their effective reach into Ukrainian territory can shrink. That means fewer cities in range, fewer frontline positions crushed, and fewer Russian aircraft operating with confidence. This is not just a weapon, it is pressure. Now here is the latest news. Sweden has already moved from discussion to serious action. In May 2026, Sweden announced plans linked to Ukraine's purchase of Gripen EF aircraft and the possible donation of up to 16 Gripen CD jets from Sweden's existing fleet. That donation package may include advanced ammunition such as Iris-T, AMRAAM, and long-range Meteor missiles. Then, on June 30, 2026, Saab signed a major contract to deliver 16 Gripen E aircraft to Ukraine. The deal is worth around 24.6 billion Swedish crowns, or about $2.5 billion. The newer Gripen E aircraft are scheduled for delivery between 2029 and 2030, while Ukrainian officials have indicated that older Gripen CD aircraft could begin arriving earlier, around 2027.
That detail matters because Meteor needs the right aircraft. Ukraine's current Western fighter fleet includes F-16s and Mirage 2000s, but Meteor is already integrated with aircraft like the Gripen, Rafale, Eurofighter Typhoon, and F-35. For Ukraine, Gripen may be the cleanest path to using Meteor effectively. And the Gripen itself is almost designed for Ukraine's kind of war. It is not the biggest fighter, it is not the flashiest fighter, but it is rugged, flexible, and built for dispersed operations. It can operate from short runways and roads, it can be serviced quickly, it can carry modern Western weapons, and the Gripen E can carry multiple Meteor missiles, turning one aircraft into a long-range airborne threat. Now imagine the battlefield. A Russian aircraft climbs behind the front line. It prepares to release guided bombs. The pilot believes he is outside danger. But somewhere far away, a Ukrainian Gripen detects the threat. The pilot launches Meteor. The missile lights its ramjet, accelerates beyond Mach 4, receives mid-course updates through data link, and begins closing the distance. The Russian pilot now has a problem. Turn away, dive, jam, run. Meteor was built for exactly this moment.
Its large no-escape zone means that once the target is inside the most dangerous envelope, traditional defensive moves become far less reliable.
This is why the missile is so important. It is not only about destruction, it is about denial. Denying Russia the freedom to fly close enough to drop glide bombs comfortably. Denying Russian aviation the confidence it has relied on. Denying Moscow the ability to use distance as protection. But let's be clear, Meteor will not magically give Ukraine full air superiority overnight. War does not work like that. Russia still has layered air defenses, powerful electronic warfare, long-range missiles, and a large aviation fleet. Integration, pilot training, maintenance, logistics, and missile supply will all matter. But even a limited number of Gripens armed with Meteor could create dangerous pockets of air denial. And sometimes, in a war of attrition, you do not need to control the entire sky. You only need to make the enemy afraid to use it freely. That is the analytical part of this story. Now comes the dramatic part. Sweden is not simply handing Ukraine another package of ammunition. Sweden appears to be helping Ukraine build a future air force. A future where Ukraine is not only defending cities from missiles and drones, but actively pushing Russian aircraft away from the battlefield. A future where Swedish radars, electronic warfare systems, drones, Gripens, and possibly Meteor missiles work together as one ecosystem. This is bigger than one missile. It is a strategic message from Stockholm to Moscow. Sweden, once neutral for generations, is now standing inside NATO, supporting Ukraine, and putting some Europe's most advanced defense technology on the table.
For Russia, that is a serious warning, because the war in the air has always been about distance. Russia wants distance to protect its aircraft. Ukraine wants distance to protect its cities. Meteor changes the distance equation. And if Ukraine receives Gripens with Meteor, Russian pilots may have to ask a new question before every mission. Are we still far enough away? That question alone can change the battlefield. This is why the Meteor story matters. Not because it is a Hollywood weapon, not because it guarantees victory, but because it could force Russia to rethink one of its most destructive tactics, launching glide bombs from relative safety. If Russian aircraft are pushed farther back, Ukraine gains breathing room. If Russian pilots become more cautious, Ukraine gains time. And if Ukraine can combine Gripen, Meteor, drones, radars, and air defense systems into one layered network, then the skies over Ukraine may begin to look very different. The missile is called Meteor, but for Russian aviation, it may feel less like a falling rock from space and more like a warning from the future. Sweden is not just sending weapons. Sweden is helping Ukraine build reach. And in modern war, reach is survival. So the next time you hear about Gripen jets heading toward Ukraine, remember this. The real story may not only be the fighter aircraft, it may be what hangs under its wings. A missile that flies beyond sight. A missile built to hunt at extreme speed. A missile that could make Russian pilots think twice before approaching the front. That missile is Meteor, and if it reaches Ukraine's skies, Russia's glide bomb strategy may never feel safe again. For more powerful defense stories, original open-source analysis, and dramatic breakdowns of the world's most important military developments, like this video and subscribe to SkyJet Wings. Turn on notifications because the next shift in the air war may already be taking shape above the battlefield. This is SkyJet Wings, and the sky is never silent.